Good afternoon, sir. I'm Bahadur, research consultant, Gurkha Heritage Project, Greenwich Borough. I'm glad to see you here today, and I'm here to have an interview from you regarding the 10 Gurkha Rifles and your experience in the Brigade of Gurkha. Could you tell me brief background of yourself and your family, sir?
Thank you, Kes. My name is Chitra Bahadur Rai. I come from east of Nepal. My family background, my father also was ex-Gurkha. We served same regiment. That's why I also joined the Gurkha, and now I'm retired and here in UK. I have two sons, my wife, and one son is still in Nepal. He just finished his MBBS, and one son and one daughter over here, and we are now settled temporarily in the Slough.
Thank you, sir. When did you join in the British Gurkha, and where did you join it?
Long time. I joined British Army in 1970, September 14, 1970, in east of Nepal, called Dharan, British Gurkhas Dharan. I joined there.
So when you joined in the Dharan, in the Brigade of Gurkha, where did you go to get your recruit training?
Once I enlisted in Dharan, we went to Calcutta by road via a train, and we stayed there for about 2-3 days waiting for a ship. And from Calcutta we board into the Sarglahead ship, and we sailed from Calcutta to Penang, Malaysia, and where our training depot was in Sungai Petani, and we trained in Malaysia, Sungai Petani.
How long was your training, and can you briefly describe how was your training?
Certainly. Our basic training was only for 6 months because of closer down of the training depot and Malaysia as well, because of finishing Malaysia British Army. So we did only the 6 months training there, and our training center was only the hops and the rubber state and red sandy grounds, not like today's. We lived in the small cemented and called the atap, some sort of bush from the jungle. They used to bring the atap, and they made a wall of atap, and they made a roof of atap, and at that time very poor condition of the training, so it was very difficult in our time.
Actually, what subjects did the training cover?
Basic training for the army, initially we started morning physical training, and afternoon After the physical training, we used to have a lunch straight 9 o'clock, like Nepali lunch, bhat and dal and bhat, rice and pulse and vegetables and meat. After that, we used to go drill training. Sometimes it's basic weapon training, like our self-loading rifles and general purpose machine guns, and basic training initially. Once we finished that, and we started the basic tactics, how to do the ambush and how to attack the enemy camps, and how to do the anti-ambush drills by vehicle, and small terrorist training, and these sort of all basic trainings, as well as education training, sometime education training, how to read the map reading and math, English, but very little English. In our time, we used to have official letters in Roman Gurkhali. So in our time, English speakers, English writers and readers were very few. Even the officers, senior NCOs, they didn't have a qualification, and also it didn't require to get the promotion as well. If you pass the Roman Gurkhali first class, then they will get the officer at that time. So those sort of training we did in our time.
What army number was allocated to you, and which regiment did you go after your recruit training?
I was given the 2115-9909 and said recruit Chitra Bahadur at that time. And when I finished the basic training, then I became a rifleman. They call the rifleman. But for the regiment purpose, when I been selected and I was in the queue to receive the army number in the British Gurkhas Dharan, and I saw lots of my colleagues, they went to the 7th Duke of Edinburgh 1 Gurkha Rifles. And when I came to the table in front of the DRO, and he asked me, which regiment do you want to go? And I told him 7GR. And one of the officer who was brigadier there, and he told me, no, you are going your father's regiment, not 7GR. You are going to 10GR. And I was surprised. I didn't know he was a commanding officer of the 2nd Battalion, 10 Princess Mary's. So he told me like that, and I said, I didn't refuse. And I said, okay. And I was given the 2115-9909. Otherwise my number should be 98 something something. So senior number. So I got the junior number.
On that time, how they allocated the number, is that related to the regiment, like 10GR or 7GR?
Yes, yes. Most of the senior numbers, they used to go to the Western battalions because of the Western battalions used to start 2nd GR and the 6GR. That's why they are given the senior number, and then followed by 7GR, and last number, and after that Tenjia, and after that the other co-units like Queen's Gurkha Signal Engineers and QOGLR. But having said that, in our time there were no numbers for the core units like QOGLR, engineers and signals. I don't know what happened that. When we were middle of the training in the Sungai Patani, and from the brigade headquarters, they have nominated directly before finishing the training. They nominated the sections. Like I don't know how they selected, but they nominated. I was in 4 platoon in one company, and I was in 2 section, and our 1 section was selected for the Queen's Gurkha Engineers, and 3 section was selected for the Queen's QOGLR, Queen's Own Transport Regiment. So same is like that. And the 3 platoon, the another 1 section was nominated for the Queen's Gurkha Signals. So that's the number allocation for that time.
Thank you, sir. Were you involved in any army services, and in which country did you serve or visit for overseas exercises?
For the overseas exercise, I've been to Germany, Kenya, Belize, Fiji Island. These are the overseas Canada, United States, and these are the overseas exercise. And I did the South Korea for the United Nations. These are the overseas exercise, but I served many other countries like Cyprus. I served there in 74-75 when the Turkish invaded in Cyprus. That's it. That's all I think.
In Korea, what did you do in Korea?
South Korea, mainly we were the representative of the British Army to the United Nations with the multi-nation force, mainly commanded by the US Army and ROC Army, Philippines Army and Thai Army, British Army, and we were doing the own guard of honor.
You said the Cyprus as well. In the Cyprus, actually, did you involve on the exercise or other purposes?
Actually, not exercise. It was when Turkish separate and Greek separates were fighting in 1974, fighting each other, and suddenly Turkish separate asked the help with the Turkish in mainland, and Turkish invaded in the eastern side of the island, and British also has got a territory there called the British base there, and we 10th Gurkhas were doing the Bisley SAM administration here in United Kingdom. Suddenly we were order airportable moved to the Cyprus within 24 hours, and David and Dawson battalion called the D&D battalion were in Dhakelia in Cyprus, and we moved as a airportable within 24 hours. We hand over the Bisley administration to another battalion, and within the 24 hours, we moved to the Cyprus and take over the DND battalion, and we were there looking after our British base in the Kelia. We were actually looking after all Greek separate armies because of the Turkish suddenly started to bombardment by the Phantom fighters in the Famagusta area, and all tanks and infantry invaded in the eastern side of the Cyprus, and all Greek separates they were running away to the British base, and 10 Princess Mary's 1 Gurkha Rifles were administrating of all of these Greek separate armies, collecting their weapons and sending them inside. This sort of responsibility we have taken over from the DND battalion.
You have been so long time in Princess Mary's on Gurkha Rifles. Do you know how the battalion was initially raised?
Yes. 10 Princess Mary's 1 Gurkha Rifles was the one of 4 battalion served integral part of the British Army in here until 1994, and we can see the Gurkha service in the British Crown from 1815, yet the history of the 10 Princess Mary's goes further than that to 1766. Regiment was raised in Vellore in South India in 1766 as a 14th Battalion Sipahis or Madras Army. Repeat changes of its regiment's title. 1770 it became 10th Carnatic Battalion. However, 1890 it was decided several Madras infantry for permanent service in Upper Burma, and 10th was the first to be selected, and all officers and men, Indian and the Madrasis, they were dispersed or transferred to the Madrasi regiments. Only 2 British officers were already served in the regiment, and rest of the officers and men were replaced by the Kubu Valley Military Police Battalion, which was raised 1887. Few Gurkhas, there were few Gurkhas, Assamese and other people in the battalion. However, regiment despairs its recruiting team first October 1890 to eastern Nepal, shouting Rais and Limbus clans, small groups of eastern Gurungs, Thapas, Magars. Once drops of recruits arrived in the regiment, those non-Gurkha personnel were phased out and made a few Gurkha battalion. And one interesting is Hindu Madrasi Sipahis voluntarily presented a stone carving monkey god called Bajrangabali or Mahavir Swami to the Hindu Gurkha Sipahis in an act of for the good. Having said that, 10 Princess Mary's, its regimental title was changed 1770 as a 10th Carnatic Battalion, and that is the one interesting thing, that figure 10 was never taken off whatever the title been changed. 1901 it's became the 10th Gurkhas, and 1950 it's became 10 Princess Mary's 1 Gurkha Rifles until it was disbanded in 1994.
Thank you, sir. What were the most battle honor of 10 Princess on Mary Gurkha Rifles?
10 Princess Mary's 1 Gurkha Rifles has so many battle honors before Great War, First World War, and Great War, First World War, and the Second World War. Before the Great War, they call the SA, Mysore, Amber, so many others battle honors. And First World War fought Suez Canal, Afghanistan, these so many others in Great War. And Second World War, Burma, Italy, Gallipoli, these are the battle honors, so many battle honors. I have 10 Princess Mary's.
Were any one of your battalion awarded the Victoria Cross?
Yes. In 1965, 21st November 1965, in Bahu, in Sarawak, with the Indonesian, Bahadur Limbu was awarded the Victoria Cross because of he did he was the actually looking the history. He was the fire support group. He was Lance Corporal twice of the section, and he was the fire support group. And he had a gun group. We used to call the gun group. And looking the history, it was very difficult, like a blade, difficult place. And his fire team was engaged with the Indonesian, I think we call the lookout sentry, with the sentry, and he managed to kill the sentry, but unfortunately main group from the main base, they knew and fired by the 2 machine guns at them, and he tried to locate his platoon commander to the enemy, and but due to the grenades and the lots of fire, his platoon commander may not see the enemy position, and he turned back but unfortunately both of the gun team were become a casualty. That's why even the two automatic machine guns suppressing him, he rescued without caring his life. He rescued those two wounded men, and finally they managed to kill 5-6 people on the spot, and they thought Indonesians killed about more than 21 people, and that's why he been awarded the very highest gallantry Victoria Cross to Bahadur Limbu PC.
How and when the 10th Gurkha Rifle was disbanded?
10 Princess Mary's 1 Gurkha Rifles was disbanded together with the other regiments such as 2nd King Edward VI 1 Gurkha Rifles, 6th Queen Elizabeth 1 Gurkha Rifles, and 7th Duke of Edinburgh 1 Gurkha Rifles simultaneously disbanded in 1994 due to closure of Hong Kong and also cut down of the British Army. Gurkha regiments were affected. Then Princess Mary's 1 Gurkha Rifles become 3rd Royal Gurkha Rifles. Having said that, 4 regiments become only 1 regiment. The new regiment is Royal Gurkha Rifles. So 2nd King Edward 6th 1 Gurkha Rifles and 6th Queen Elizabeth 1 Gurkha Rifles became 1st Royal Gurkha Rifles. 7th Duke of Edinburgh 1 Gurkha Rifles became 2nd Royal Gurkha Rifles, and 10 Princess Mary's 1 Gurkha Rifles became 3rd Royal Gurkha Rifles. In 1st July 1994. After that, 2nd Royal Gurkha Rifles and 3rd Royal Gurkha Rifles, they merged again in 1997 down in Brunei. 7th Duke of Edinburgh 1 Gurkha Rifles and the 10 Princess Mary's 1 Gurkha Rifles have the brother relation history. Back to 1903, 10 Gurkha Rifles formed up a new battalion. From the 10 Gurkha Rifles, a new battalion was raised. Initially, it was designated as 8 Gurkha Rifles. But in 1903, it's voluntarily wanted to become a 2nd battalion of the 10th Gurkha Rifles. As such, remain as a 2nd battalion of the 10th Gurkhas until 1907, and it was reorganized as a 2nd Duke of 2nd Gurkha Rifles. It became a 2nd Gurkha Rifles until it was disbanded in 1994, and in 1997 again the 2nd Royal Gurkha Rifles and 3rd Royal Gurkha Rifles, they merged in Brunei because that, as I said, 7 Gurkhas was formed up from the officers and men of the 10th and become a 2nd battalion in 1903, and 1997 they merged together. Means is brother battalions. They merged now, and they are now together, and they are serving in Brunei and United Kingdom turn by turn. They are now about to over here in Brunei and going to Afghanistan, I hope.
What were the posts that you held during your service in the Brigade of Gurkha, and at what rank did you retire?
In the army, I enlisted as a soldier, private, and I hold the various rank when I was junior NCOs, and when I become senior NCOs, I hold the second in command in the platoon, called the platoon sergeant, and quartermaster, sergeant major, and I promoted to the lieutenant through the rank, and I hold the platoon commander and company second in command and company commander, and very last I was family welfare officer, and I retired as a captain in 1997. In 96, I was appointed as a Queen's Orderly officer during the Vijay time. Vijay means is victory in Japan in the 50 years time. I was Queen's Orderly officer in the Buckingham Palace.
You mentioned that you served as a Queen's Gurkha Orderly officer in Buckingham Palace. Could you briefly tell us your duties, please?
Sure. Queen's Gurkha Orderly officers. This appointment come from Indian time. In India, they used to have 8 orderly officers in India, and once India independent in India, and once India independent 1948, and this tradition was carry on as well here as well. So from 1951, the Brigade of Gurkhas started to provide 2 Queen's Orderly officers in Buckingham Palace. Selection from the Brigade of Gurkhas. The main responsibilities are the investitures duties. I mean, investitures means in the Buckingham Palace there are 22 to 24 investitures every year. Means is who have been selected for the gallantry, like medals, civilian or military personnel. They will be given medal during the investiture inside the Buckingham Palace. During that time, the duty of QGOOs is to escort the Her Majesty into the investitures room, and stay right behind the Queen until investitures finish. And that is the main responsibility of the Queen's only officers. Second task is to raise the money for the Gurkha welfare scheme and the benevolent fund. So tour of duty will be 1 year, and QGOs will be given the task to the all over the UK, like north to south, east, west. That is the entirely up to the chairman of the Gurkha Welfare Trust here in UK. He will ask the headquarter brigade of Gurkhas, and charity functions, he will know the charity functions, and he will send the QGOs to the charity functions to represent the charities, and QGOs will take part there, represent the Gurkhas, and raise the money. That was the second task while I was in the QGO, but now maybe different at present.
Sir, please tell me what you did after your retirement in Nepal.
Thank you, Case. Okay. 15 July 1997, I retired from the 2nd Royal Gurkha Rifles from Brunei, and I went to the Nepal, and I settled in east of the country in Sunsari district called the Itahari, and I've been there for 3 years in the CV street, and I did a few community works, and I was a main advisor of the ex-servicemen community, and we built our own clubhouse. We built our own basketball pitch for our kids. Within the 3 years, I did many other community works, like building roads, drains, bus parks in the municipality in Itahari. After that, in 2000, I was selected area welfare officer in the Gurkha welfare scheme, and I was sent to the hills called the Okholdunga district, and area welfare office Rumzatar, looking after 2 districts, Okholdunga district and Solukhambu districts, where no transportations. Those districts are very remote under the Mount Everest. I've been there for about 15 months, and as you heard probably, during that period Maoist was very active. Later I was selected area welfare officer medical again, and posted to city in capital in Kathmandu, area welfare officer medical. My responsibility was to look after our ex-servicemen and their dependents about the health, and grant the money for the treatment, and I've been there for about 2.5 years.
Thank you, sir. What did you do after that area medical officer in Kathmandu?
I've been there for about 2.5 years, and fortunately, I was selected for RGO SSW, means is re-employed Gurkha officer serving soldier welfare. It is quite good terms and condition because I was re-employed as a green uniform, and my responsibility were to look after the dependents and the dependents or serving soldiers welfare, medical or court cases, or any compassionate grounds. If any family or dependents came to the office with the medical cases, court cases, land dispute cases, my responsibility was to investigate and forward the reports to Gurkha Major or medical officer, and make a decision for the compassionate case whose son or husband serving around the world. And my responsibility was to draft the signal and send to his unit, giving the category immediate or normal or like category A, B or C. So it was quite interesting. I've been there for about 1.5 years. After that, again, I was selected area recruiting officer in British Gurkhas, Pokhara.
As an area recruiting officer in Pokhara, please tell us how the Gurkhas are recruited in the British Army.
Well, there are the teams to select the potential Gurkha recruits. Teams consist of 3 groups. Group 1 is the junior recruiter, who are the ex-servicemen of the British Gurkhas. We call them Gallawalas. I think this Gallawala word came long time from India time. And second group is AROs, Area Recruiting Officers, under command Officer Commanding British Gurkhas Pokhara, and there will be 4 AROs, 1 senior ARO and 3 other AROs. ARO East, whose responsibility is to look after the half of the country to the east, and ARO West, he looks after the half of the country to the west, and area recruiting officer code, he coordinates. So OC, officer commanding, senior recruiting officer, and 3 recruiting officers. These are the group 2. And the group 3, they will be the trainers. They are the serving soldiers who are trained, whose responsibility is to train the new recruits in the Catterick garrison here in United Kingdom. Once they finish their basic training and they send recruits to their respective units, and they go to the Nepal for central selection to assist the AROs and SAROs in Pokhara. So actually combined junior recruiters, Galawalas, ARO team, and the trainers from the Khatrik garrison, they are under command of the officer commanding British Gurkhas, Pokhara. So these are the teams. So criteria for the recruits nowadays, not like my time, nowadays everything published in the website, and they can download and they can have a look the criteria, what are the criteria for the Gurkha recruits. So there will be in 3 phases. Phase 1, application phase for 3 months, June, July, August. They have to apply within the time frame, and ARO team, area recruiting officer team, can entry their data into the computer. And phase 2, regional selection. There will be 2, east and west. Successful candidates from the regional selection, in order of merit base, they will be called forward in Pokhara British camp for central selection.
Can you explain the phases, initial application phase and regional selection phase and central selection phase?
Sure. Initial phase, June to August, there are 3 places for application. They have to apply personally. There will be junior recruiters, and the potential recruit can download the application form by the website, or they can get from the application center, and they have to fill up the application form where they can see the criteria there. If criteria doesn't meet the if criteria doesn't meet, then computer is already programmed and will be rejected. So when they apply the application, junior recruiters will not examine to them, just they receive and send the application forms to the AROs in the headquarters. That is the application phase. And regional selection, and regional selection will be published in the website, and they who are the successful candidates, when they send the application form to the headquarters, and in the headquarters AROs will put the information in the computer, and then if doesn't meet the criteria, then he will be rejected, and his name and number will not appear in the list. and they will be published in the website again, which district when to come in the regional selection. There will be given the dates, and they have to be in time in the nominated date. So AROs will set up the regional selection area, and in the regional selection they will be tested as follows. First of all, they will be tested education, math and English. Result will be within 1 hour, and then result will be announced. Successful candidate only can complete the rest of the physical and medical. Failure will be sent off. And second phase, they will be tested 800 meter running, and successful candidate only remain there, failure will be sent off again. And then they will be tested their criteria: height, chest, weight, eyes and blood pressure. Successful candidate only remain again, and they will be test of stamina of hips. No time limit for the hips, 12 times. And success again, same thing. Successful candidate will remain there and complete the again sit-up. Sit-up will be 70, and there will be timing. Timing depends on the office commanding will decide. Sometime 2 minutes 70, sometime 2 minutes 40 seconds, something like that. But everything will be given in the website, and the potential recruits will know everything. And result will be published, and again, as I said, all the order of merit base only. Everybody will not be called forward for the central selection, because in the central selection they will be given lodging and fooding, everything inside. So limited number from the east and limited number from the west will be called forward, and central selection will be hard and tough, mentally, physically, and medical is responsibility is only doctors. So for the central selection, all the recruiting team from the United Kingdom, as I said before, the trainers, they will be there. Few other extra peoples from the other regiments also will be nominated for the manpower. And physical also will be tough, and mental also will be tough. I mean, mental means is education. All education papers, examples are given in the website. Those papers will be prepared from the education team United Kingdom, not from the ARO groups. And those education groups will be going from here for the central selection, and papers they will prepare from here and they will take to the British Gurkhas Pokhara in Nepal. And education tests will be math, and essay writing, comprehension, dictation, listening and speaking, and called here Baptists in the British Army. When they join the British Army, it is mandatory they will do the Baptist, and same for the Gurkhas, also now mandatory. They will be taste Baptist as well. That is the for the education. And the physical side. Physical side, they will have very hard, we call the doku rest. This is the very uphill, and they have to carry 30 pound right Nepali style doko. Doko means which is made from the bamboo, and they have to put the weight there, and they have to carry on the forehead, and they have to run uphill. Its time is now 48 minutes. It looks uphill. It's 8 kilometers, 48 minutes. If anyone fails late behind that, and he will be not selected. He will be straight sent off from the camp. That is the very interesting, and they have to do the BFT test as well, which is compulsory in the British Army here in United Kingdom. Those are the physical test, and they won't do the heaps and 8-mile running in central selection. Medical. Again, medical test is in detail. There will be additional doctors from United Kingdom. They go to the for 2 months duty, and medical test will be all urine test, blood test, X-ray, ECG, BP, hearing test, everything like general checkup. They call like general checkup, everything. Majority, from my experience, majority people they fail. I think from the BP, blood pressure, and quite a few heart. I don't know. It's become a big heart, and we guessed because of the heart training. So having and another final test will be interview. Interview is very tough. They have to speak English very good, and one candidate will be tested by 8 officers. In the round table, there are 8 officers sitting, and only one potential recruit appears in the front of the 8 officers, and he will be asked anything they like: family, education, and whatever they like. There is no fixed question and answer. Whatever DRO likes to ask, he asks. Whatever other AROs likes, they ask. And they test his, first of all, is English, and the mind, how he's quick thinking, some sort of like this. And then he will be given the point system. 1 to, when I was there, a full point was 20, and everyone has to give 1 point, 1 thinking. So it's very fair, because everybody knows how is he looks like. So if anyone's relative he is, then he cannot give the 19 point if someone giving him 5 point. So it's obvious something wrong there. So when I was there, it was fair system, and I thought it was a useful interview. But some candidates they failed the interview because of all uniform officers, 8 uniform officers in front of him, and he's scared and he starts shaking his hand and body. That's why he fails. So this is very tough. If someone came first time, then definitely he gets the nervous. So to be honest, it's very tough. About candidates every year, roughly 15,000. So only in my time, only 305 places, 230 for the British Army and 75 for the Singapore contingent, Singapore Police Force, out of 15,000. So for the team, recruiting team, also difficult, and the potential recruits also difficult. To get the post in 15,000 also difficult, and to select the from 15,000 to 305 also very difficult. So always point system and merit base. It's very interesting, but in my experience I never had like that difficult appointment in my career, because ARO was my worst appointment in my life, because never get the credit from anyone, even who are now enlisted here in United Kingdom. They don't say, because of this guy I've been selected here. He says, oh, I was the tough, that's why I got the selected. I got the selection. I am the tough, he will say. And then who are not selected, and they will say, oh, this is the bad guy for me, because he failed me here. He did interview me here. And this is very bad. And the relatives and the well-known friends, and they ask, oh Saab, you are the area recruiting officer, please help me, my son is coming, my brother is coming, my friend is coming, and we can't do nothing, because entirely order of merit base. So when their son and relatives doesn't get selected, then they will say, oh, this guy, I told him is my relative, is my brother or my best friend, but he did not look my relative, this, and you never get credit from anyone in this post. And I always used to switch off my mobile. I never switch on my mobile, because of always ringing the bell saying this, and also threat again. It was very bad appointment for me in my life. That's it, Keshav.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.